going to begin with politics and two parties seemingly moving in opposite directions. On the one hand, you have the Republicans gathered at their convention in Milwaukee, rallying behind former President Trump, who tonight will deliver his first speech since the attempted assassination.
And on the other hand, you have the Democrats in crisis mode now, some calling openly for President Biden to reconsider his campaign. The president himself in isolation with COVID.
What an incredible time. Sifan Kim is covering the turmoil within the Democrats, but Kemberly Richardson will lead off our coverage. She's live at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. Kimberly?
And Sade, right now, the many delegates gathering here outside the convention center. Inside, rehearsals are underway, and there is a nervous sense of anticipation. Within seconds of Donald Trump stepping on the stage, we will know if he loosely made good on his promise to tone down the speech. This, as for the first time, Trump is speaking face-to-face with people about his near brush with death. Today, a very confident Eric Trump outside Milwaukee's convention center, strolling into what may be his family's second stay in the White House. Tonight, Donald Trump expected to accept his party's presidential nomination and, as his team puts it, usher in a new golden age for America.
I think you're going to see a more gentler President Trump tonight.
I caught up with Nicole Maliotakis on this, the fourth and final day of the RNC. Wednesday evening, the congresswoman from New York sat in the family box with Trump, his near brush with death, she says, having a profound effect on him.
He's so grateful to be alive. He knows that he's here for a mission, which is to fix this great country.
It will be Trump's first public speech since being cut off mid-sentence at his rally in Pennsylvania during that attempted assassination when a bullet pierced his ear. During a movie screening Wednesday night in Milwaukee, in video obtained by PBS, Trump addressed that moment.
But I got lucky. God was with me, I tell you.
But how much will Trump tap into the emotions of that day, or will he stick to the issues? He already said his initial remarks were going to be a, quote, humdinger, but he instead scrapped that plan. His speech will have a different tone. Congressman Mike Lawler.
At the end of the day, this election is about the American people. It's not about the personalities or the individuals or Donald Trump. It is about the American people and the path forward.
And the speakers, an eclectic mix. Professional wrestler Hulk Hogan is expected to introduce Trump, followed by former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, Trump's son Eric, and UFC President Dana White.
It's certainly classic Donald Trump, you know, ever the showman.
Oh, and so is this. Just a few minutes ago, Kid Rock taking the stage, rehearsing what we expect to be the song played right before Trump steps on the stage. Everyone took a much-needed break from work to check this out.